Hello and hi everyone. Welcome back to our session for today. This week we are going to focus on writing a poem. So, in this session, at the end of this session, I'm expecting that everybody will be able to write a 16 line poem. But don't worry, because I'll guide you step by step on how to write a simple poem. So those who read can surely write. So before we move on, what is poetry? Poetry is a form of literature that uses aesthetic and often rhythmic qualities of language, such as phonesthetic, sound symbolism, and meter, to evoke meanings. Poetry has a long and varied history, evolving differently across the globe. So, as usual, before we start writing, we have to plan ahead. Because if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So, let's take a look at how simple a poem can be. Let's write about this lion. Remember, we are writing a poem, we are not writing an essay about this lion. So, as usual, let's use WH questions to make sure we are on the right track when describing this animal. So, first question, what animal is this? Where does it come from? What is the favorite food of a lion? So we have three questions right now. What animal is this? Where does it come from? What is the favorite food for a lion? So, for example, like this, what animal is this? A lion. Where does it come from? Most probably from Africa. And what is the favorite food? Obviously, fresh meat. So now we have the answers for the three questions: a lion, from Africa, and fresh meat. How can we change these short answers into a poem? Remember, we are not writing a story, we are writing a poem. So it can be like this, for example, Zumba is a lion. Africa is his origin. Without fresh meat, he will be angry and hungry. Zumba is a lion. Africa is his origin. Without fresh meat, he will be angry and hungry. So, from the short answers just now, we arrange it into a stanza. Zumba, a lion from Africa, now in Zoo Negara, eats meat daily. Must not be left hungry, he will be angry. So from the three questions just now, what animal is this? Where does it come from? And what is his favorite food? We can come up with six lines poem, a 6 line poem. So this is a very simple example of a poem. I don't want you to write like a famous poet such as Robert Frost or William Shakespeare. Just put an effort to write a simple poem like this using the WH question. So let's write your own poem. Just now we have written a poem on about a lion. So next, let's do this together. So there are 16 questions. For every question, there is an answer that I expect you to write. And when we arrange all these answers, at the end of the session, we can come up with a 16-line poem. Okay, so let's take a look at the first question. Where are you? So I want you to write in the first sentence, uh, just write where you are and include a preposition. Whether you are inside, you are outside, you are between, in front of, and etc. And mention a location. Next, why are you there? Why are you here? Just state a reason, a short reason. Are you alone? Okay. Use words to describe whether you are lonely or you are being accompanied by someone. And then write your feeling. One word is enough. If you want to make it as a phrase, fine. And then just write another feeling that you have. What happened to you? State an incident. For example, you fail an exam, or you lost your temper, you lose your money, or you cannot return to school. Did you expect it to happen? So mention whether you expect or unexpect it to happen. So include what you already did. Okay, for example, you didn't expect it to happen because you have done this. Do you regret it? Do you regret what happened to you? So regret or not regret. State one reason. Okay. For example, the first 8 lines of your poem should be like this. I'm standing here outside the hall. Okay, you have the word outside to show preposition and also the hall to show a location. Remembering my past life. So that's the reason. Standing alone, friendless. So that's describe whether you are lonely or accompanied. So for this one, it describes that you are lonely. And then write 2 feelings. Empty, lonely. And then state an incident. What happened to you? I failed the last test. Whether it expected or unexpected. Unexpectedly, I did study. I regret it as I didn't do much. So you mention whether you regret or do not regret. So this is your first 8 lines. The first 8 lines. Let's move to the next 8 lines. What are you doing now? So include a verb in continuous form. What are you doing now? So there are twice, you have to mention twice. Include a verb in continuous form. And then where are you going? State a venue or a place that you are going to. Are you going alone? Okay. Same like the first 8 line just now. Use word to describe whether you are lonely or accompanied. It can be the same whether you are lonely or maybe for this one you are accompanied. So there's no right or wrong as long as you can write. Why? So state reason for the previous one. Why you are going alone, why you are going there, why you are being accompanied. Are you getting up? Okay. Are you getting up? You get up from the sadness that you suffered earlier. Are you giving up? I'm not giving up. Or giving up is never in my mind. Sentences like that. And then why aren't you? Why aren't you giving up? Okay, state reason for the previous one. So just mention the reason in all in short sentences. Okay, to make it as a poem. For example, looking at my notes, looking at my efforts, both have the verb in continuous form. And then state a venue or a place. I'm going back to the battleground. Okay. Use words to describe lonely or accompanied with or without my friends. For this one, it can be both. Whether I'm going back with my friend or without my friends. This fight is mine, not yours, not theirs. Okay, so that's the reason you go with or without friends. I'm getting up, standing still. I'm not giving up. I will rise every time I fall. So that's the 16 line is a poem that I want you to try to write. Just use the questions, the 16 questions, and include the keyword that I have suggested. And at the end, all of us will be able to write this 16 word, a 16 line poem. Okay? So now is your turn. I'm giving you the opportunity to look at these questions. Okay, let's go back to the question. There are 8 questions for the first 8 lines. Where are you? Why are you here? Are you alone? What do you feel? What do you feel? What happened to you? Did you expect it? Do you regret it? What are you doing now? What are you doing now? Where are you going? Are you going alone? Why are you getting up? Are you giving up? Why aren't you? Okay, so these are the 16 questions that you have to answer. And from the 16 questions, we will be able to write a simple poem which consists of 16 lines. I guess that's all for today. Please share your 16-line poem in the comment section below, and don't forget to write your name and your class when you post your 16-line poem. So I guess that's all. Thank you everyone. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.